doing? What? You are supposed to be at school right now, Mr. BYU student.
You know, just cleaning your fan vent here in the bathroom.
I appreciate that, because I was actually looking at it the other day thinking that looks kind of gross. And thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You know, I'm gonna have a PhD, but here I am cleaning your vents. I guess I won't have a PhD if I don't get my butt to school and get my work done.
Yeah, you've got some work to do. Ah, she started it. Every once in a great while, Landon will stay home later into the morning answering emails from home, doing that kind of stuff. But then he gets sidetracked with house projects, and then he sees something else that needs to be done. I mean, I'm not complaining because the garbage has been taken out, my vent's getting clean, and several other things happened this morning because he stuck around and got distracted. Are you trying not to go to school?
Yep.
No, he knows he needs to get to school. If you have been following along, you will know that Landon is graduating from school. Yes, that's right. He is graduating this spring. Can you believe it? He will be done with school probably by August, which means we've got a decision to make. So when you're done cleaning that, let's chat.
Okay.
Has anyone ever cleaned their bathroom vents before? If you have not, this is your reminder to go clean your vent.
No kidding.
Gross.
Yep.
Nothing like snuggling up to the front foyer rug, huh?
Hi, baby. You're in the dust zone right there.
Yeah, that's disgusting. Move it. Got a pile of laundry here. Do you want to know my tip on doing laundry quickly? You take your rags, you open the drawer, and you shove them in there. There you go. These are my kitchen rags. Literally, no one will ever know. So I've been torn with the idea of washing my bath towels, my kitchen towels, my cleaning rags together. Like, that just doesn't, I don't know. I don't love doing that, and I haven't always done that. But when I do that, when I do throw all those rags together, I put it on a sanitary mode so it sanitizes it all. But I usually will wash my cleaning rags separate from all the other rags in the house. But that's what we did today, and it looks like the kids folded these. The one drawer that I don't shove my rags in is this drawer. For some reason, I like to fold my kitchen towels. So in the vlog that we talked about Landon graduating, we've gotten lots of questions on what is our next step, where's Landon going to get a job, what's the plan? And that has been a huge topic of conversation for us as to what the next step is, because you have pretty much only two options.
So option number one is to just go into the workforce, get a job, be a professor, find a place at a university.
There are several universities throughout the state of Utah. Weber State, Utah State.
Yep. Typically, if you're going to get a job right out of a PhD, you're not going to be super research focused. So you're going to be a little bit more teaching focused, which is fine. I really enjoy teaching. I've taught anatomy and other classes. So it's just, that is one option, to go kind of more teaching route. The other option, if you want to be a little bit more research focused, is to go to do a postdoctoral fellowship. So that is just essentially getting a job in a lab for a couple of years and running research for a few years. And that will set you up to be a better researcher. It's like an extra training, because it is like more of like a low paid, like extra training type of a job. What options are there in the state of Utah to do a postdoc fellowship? Not much. There's like one at the University of Utah, and it's not really doing kind of the same stuff I'm doing. When you do a fellowship, you really want it focused on the stuff that you are going to be doing the rest of your life. So you want to kind of have it honed in pretty tight. So the University of Utah is the only thing that's even close. And then otherwise, we've got to look out of the state for those type of options. So that is something that we have to decide on, talk about, weigh out the pros and cons. And we have to do that very quickly, because you've got to have this all set in stone and ready to roll. So by the time you graduate, you're ready to move on to that. You don't have time sitting around doing nothing. Yeah, so stay tuned and we will update you and let you know what we have decided.
What's the best route to go?
So a lot of people have said, well, why don't you just stay at BYU? Hey, stay at BYU, that's great. You've got a PhD, why don't you work there? BYU, along with a lot of other universities, if you get your PhD at that university, you actually can't stick around and teach. They want you to go out and get experience somewhere else before you come back. That being said, I've had soft offers from the biology department, the nutrition department, the exercise science department, all of BYU, all of people that I've rubbed shoulders with and said, we would love to have you come back, but we can't hire you until you go get a job somewhere else for a few years or go do a fellowship, this postdoctoral fellowship for a few years, and then try to come back to us.
I'm like smiling big because Landon is like the most humble person. He'll never like have this big ego, like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, you know you're a great person, but like, you're not cocky about it. But I want to say, they freaking love him up there, and they're like, we're gonna miss you when you leave, and we want you back. They really do love Landon.
Yep, a professor called me yesterday. She's like, hey, I've talked to some people about phlebotomy, drawing blood. I'm told you're the person to talk to. I'm like, sure, talked her through that. I've got another professor up in nutrition. He's like, hey, I heard you're the person to talk to about this. I want you to come up and do a guest lecture up in one of my classes. I'm like, okay, yeah. So it is fun. It's fun to kind of start to get known for something and kind of build that up.
Yeah, and another cool thing that I want to like say about you is a lot of times, and correct me, is this just master's or your prospectus for your PhD? Maybe just the master's. What's the master's project called?
Thesis.
A lot
dissertation.
Thesis, yeah. A lot of times when people do a thesis, it's kind of a project that has already been up and running and they're just handed it to them and they just like finish it off. But Landon actually started his from ground zero and built it up himself, and I thought that was kind of cool. I thought it was worth mentioning.
Well, and it pays off as you start talking to people about your research. They can tell you've been invested in it. They can tell you know what you're talking about, rather than saying, oh yeah, well I was handed this project, I kind of ran it, and I don't know.
And I graduated.
Yeah, now I graduated. It's been a lot more work on my end, but it's been a lot more, I think it'll pay off.
So that is our update for now. Keep watching. We will update you as we make decisions and you need to get to school.
Yep.
Or none of this is gonna happen.
That's right.
So.
Thanks guys.
How did we keep Millie quiet for that few minutes of talking? We turned on Coco Melon and gave you snacks in the high chair. Mother of the Year Award. Was that fun? You like that show?
So I bike to school and it's freezing. So I always wear this thing over my face. And Millie likes to give me a kiss before I leave. Bye. Bye-bye. Oh, thank you. Put it back. She can't ever get it back up. Hey, bye-bye. I love you.
Okay, so I just made a loaf of cinnamon bread so that we can make French toast this weekend. And it's really hard to do sourdough with inclusions and make it look good. It looks kind of, I don't know, goofy. But I've had lots of requests on how to do sourdough, and I haven't jumped into teaching anything yet. I don't have any videos or Instagram tutorials or any tutorials yet on how to do it. But one of these days I will. I plan on it. But for now, this is just a little inspiration. Nothing like butter on some warm cinnamon bread. I'm just going to make myself up a little shake here. And while I do, let's just chat about my thoughts on this decision that we have to make. I feel like Landon and I make decisions pretty well together. And this is one of those things, it's like, it's kind of his doing his thing. It's whatever he feels like is best for his career ultimately. I want him happy, and I'm honestly truly happy with whatever he decides. I am always up for an adventure. I'm always up to doing whatever we need to do for his career, and even if that means moving to Missouri for a few years, changing his plan and then coming back and then starting over, whatever. Like, it is what it is. We're in this together, and I would truly be happy with whatever he decides to do. And obviously we talk about it together, and he listens to my thoughts or ideas and takes those into consideration, which I love. But this is one of those things, I'm like, if you want to do a postdoc, great. If you want to get a job at this place, great. Like, we'll make whatever work. And here's another thing. I've heard of a lot of stories where the wives, more specifically the wives, this can happen to husbands too, but they cling on to their family or their mom so much that they literally wouldn't move or do anything for their husband. And to me, I'm like, once you get married, like, you do whatever makes you and your husband happy together. Gosh, that doesn't sound right when I say that out loud. I wouldn't not do something for Landon just because I felt like I had to stay next to my family, if that makes sense. Milk, protein powder, a little bit of peanut butter, a little bit of old banana, and a few ice cubes. I don't like a lot of ice cubes because I get brain freeze easy. Would I be happy if Landon just found a job, we settled down, and I knew that that was the end of moving and that was it? That would be amazing to have that kind of like closure in a way. Would I be happy to have another adventure? Yes, yes I would. I think it would be great. I think it's great for the kids to experience new things and hard things and show the kids that it's okay to work hard and do things that are hard and get out of your comfort zone, whether that's leaving Utah or not. To get out of your comfort zone, I think it really builds a lot of character and they learn a lot. When Landon was talking about the different professors up at the university really liking him, Dr. Bickman is the one who made this health code shake. He is such a smart guy. And he loves Landon. He is the one who's like, I would love to hire you on if I could. This stuff's amazing. It has so many good, healthy ingredients. And it also has healthy fats in it, which helps you absorb the protein better. So I'm going to leave our link and discount code below for our protein shake. Hands up. Stay there. Run along. Emma, she's coming. No.